All right, I will call today's meeting of July 13th City Council to order. And Mr. Fox, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Please rise and join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bruins.
Present.
Councilmember Daniels.
Here.
Councilmember Fox.
Here.
Vice Mayor Miller.
Here.
And Mayor Slowey.
Present.
Tonight's meeting of the Citrus Heights City Council is cablecast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel, on the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T Uverse cable systems. The meeting is closed caption and webcast at citrusheights.net. Tonight's meeting replays on Monday, July 17th at 9 a.m. on Channel 14, and a DVD copy is available for checkout from any library branch.
Thank you. And we did have a closed session. There's no reportable action coming out of that. Approval of the agenda. Any issues approving the agenda?
Move approval.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those abstained? Motion carries 5-0. Next item, Amy.
Next item, presentation number 4, is City of Citrus Heights 20-year celebration, top 20 presentation.
Welcome, Devin.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council members. Devin Rodriguez, Economic Development Specialist with the City of Citrus Heights. I am now going to be taking over the top 20 lists that we have. So although we had our big party about a month ago, we're still continuing to celebrate our 20th anniversary with our monthly top 20 lists. And this month's top 20 is best events. So we actually have a very eventful community. We got over 40 different submissions for different events that happen around in Citrus Heights. And so here is our top 20 list. We did have to, of course, add our 20th anniversary block party that we just had since it was such a great event. The American Legion's Battle of the Bands and Barbecue, Antelope Crossing Spooktacular. Of course, the city we have our events, the Christmas tree lighting, the Red, White, and Blue Parade. There's numerous crab feeds, the weekly farmers market, and I'll let you guys view the rest of the events there. I won't read them all out. But I did want to kind of provide some highlights or pictures for a few of the events. Of course, the 20th anniversary block party, which we just had on June 3rd, which was a great event for everybody. American Legion's Battle of the Bands and Barbecue, which is going to be coming up again in October. And they were nice enough to send us over some photos from their event last year. The city's annual Christmas tree lighting. Last year was our first Christmas tree lighting at the new City Hall, and with all the staging that was done, City Hall was transformed into this rustic winter wonderland with a wonderful Santa Claus, hot chocolate, the annual performance by the community marching band, and it was also had the trains and the snow globes. So it was a really fun event this last year. The Red, White, and Blue Parade, which we just had. So there's the skydivers that started off the parade, and the Harner family's annual float, the Flintstones float, which was a big hit this year. And then finally, I wanted to touch on the Ladies in White documentary premiere that happened this year. We had over 100 people attend. The documentary has been played on KVIA 3 times, and you can actually live stream it on their website now, too, for anybody who hasn't seen the Ladies in White documentary. So there's just a few of one of our best events for our top 20 for this month. The next one will be our top 20 longest residents of Citrus Heights, and we'll be presenting that at the August 10th City Council meeting. That's it.
Great. Any questions?
No, that's going to be a tough one, though, because, you know, after we announce it, someone's going to come out and say, well, I've lived here longer.
Yes.
It's the top 20 known.
Yes,
Yes.
top 20, I will put that in parentheses, top 20 known longest residents.
And living.
And living, yes. That is also a criteria.
That would not be good.
That is also a criteria. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, comments by council members and regional board updates. Mr. Fox, you're still in your probationary period, so we'll let you go first.
Well, mine's going to be pretty simple then. I met with representatives of both Sac Metro Cable and the Sacramento Transportation Authority and went over with them information regarding their functions, their authority, what they do, what they hope to accomplish. We went through their budget process and are basically getting set up for the first meetings that I will be attending coming up within the next 30 days. And that would be it for me.
Has the STA hired a new executive director yet?
They have not, and there's, as of this week, there is not anyone on the list that they're looking at, particularly they haven't.
Or
started
interested?
interviews. So,
All right, good. All right, thank you. And got their schedules and
yes.
you're all into that, great. Ms. Bruins?
Well, mine will be pretty simple too, because sanitation districts have not met due to the recess of the County Board of Supervisors. And the only thing that I want to acknowledge is we celebrated our 11th anniversary with our police department's award ceremony last week. That was wonderful as always. And then we also, I think most of the council went to the grand opening of Judy's Cleaners, who is opening their corporate office here in Citrus Heights, right on basically the corner of Greenback and San Juan. That'll be a very good employer. They'll be opening probably for the end of the year. And I just wanted to announce, not to forget, that we have the community camp out coming up week after next. So if you want to have a lot of fun for a low cost, that includes the whole family, go on our website and sign up. Thank you. That's it.
Great. Brett? Okay. Mr. Miller? Steve?
Well, I must have been affected by the same Board of Supervisors recess, have not had the last two regional transit board meetings were canceled. And so nothing to report there. We'll add that Mayor Slowy and I attended the Chamber's Best of Citrus Heights event Tuesday, and I can't list off all who won the different categories, but I do know the best of the best was the Sylvan Corners Veterinary Hospital. So congratulations to them for being the best of the best this year. And then yesterday, Mayor Slowy and I met with the fire department chief and his staff, and we had, of course, our contingent of staff there, and we talked about a lot of things. And one of the things that came out was just, it was key to reestablish communication. And we have a mechanism for getting information on fire department events out to our citizens through connections and the reach out. So we're going to work together on that. One of the best things that we talked about was the fire department permitting, both for plan reviews when you're doing buildings and special events. And we're going to have a plans intake specialist here 3 times a week from Metro Fire to take plans in, do over-the-counter, issue permits for special events if, you know, they're within reason. The bigger things will have to go out, but also they're planning on going digital. So things will get a lot faster and streamline the permitting process in concert with our building department. And then we also talked about the hazmat contract. That'll be coming up later, so I'm going to spare the details on that one, but I think we all got a better understanding of that. And before I finish, Mayor, I'd like to introduce our Assistant Chief, who's actually the Fire Marshal, Maurice Johnson's out in the audience. Maurice, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for coming, ma'am.
And with that, I'm done.
Great. So Jeannie covered the CHPD installation and awards on 6/29. While you talked about the Chamber luncheon, you didn't mention who got best governmental service, and that was the Citrus Heights Police Department. So congratulations.
Couldn't list them all.
On yeah, well, the only one that mattered, geez. Jeannie mentioned the camp out 722, 723 in the future. Jeannie and I did meet with the school district in a week or two ago. Another good conversation. It was right after they had come out with their testing scores in San Juan wasn't at the top, but, you know, to their point, that, I didn't necessarily think of, both of our local high schools are very small enrollment. So when you have a small number of people taking the test and, it takes less of a, one or two people can do not as well as others, and that actually brings your score down quicker than if you have a larger pool of applicants. So, I get it, but they are working on some things within the school district to make some improvements, so that's always good to hear. I do want to give a special shout out to, technically not a resident of Citrus Heights, but this young lady does go to school in Citrus Heights, Miss Michaeli Pyle, and she was recognized based on grades and academic standing, as well as in high school what she wants to pursue. And so basically, this honors-only program, it's called, it's here, give me a minute, I forgot, sorry. It was medical, so she was the delegate to the Congress of Future Medical Leaders, so i.e. potential future doctor, et cetera. And I definitely would be remiss if I didn't call her out, because I may be seeing her down the road. So, so we're sending her a nice letter. Again, she lives in Orangevale, but she does go to school here. And she was the only one from the region who got invited. It's an all-expense trip back to back east. And she spent some time there, and great recognition for her and for our schools for her to be there. So congratulations on that. That's it from my end, so we will move on to public comment at this point.
Under Government Code Section 54954.3, members of the audience may address the council on any item of interest to the public and within the council's purview, or on any agenda item before or during the council's consideration of the item. If you wish to address the council during the meeting, fill out a speaker identification sheet and give it to myself, the city clerk. When you're called upon to speak, step forward to the podium and state your name for the record. Normally, speakers are limited to 5 minutes each, with 30 minutes being allowed for all comments. Any public comments beyond the initial 30 minutes may be heard at the conclusion of the agenda, and the mayor has the discretion to lengthen or shorten the allotted times.
Okay. So Arthur, Kitterling, you're our first. Now you got 3 topics here.
Yeah.
One of them's on the agenda, 2 of them aren't, so you can address the 2, and if you want to come back when we, do or don't talk about the other one, or just talk about them all now.
I was just wanting briefly of my name is Arthur Kitterling in Citrus Heights, and I was wanting to mention that red light violation camera. I was quite surprised when I seen it on the agenda, but I'm pleased that I understand that there's one camera there at Auburn and Greenback, but not the opposite direction. But we need both of them. They're important, and especially the things that have been happening over on Greenback and Auburn with accidents and et cetera. I'm pleased that you have them on the agenda, consent item. And on as far as City Ride and Route 95, I know from what I understand from the last meeting that I was at, that they're going to be speaking on the budget for 2017-18, and I was wanting to ask if you're how was City Ride and Route 95 doing? Because I have been asking, and they drivers have been mentioning it's been very good. But I hope that I know the contract is going to be up in January, and I was wondering if he was going to be renewing that.
Okay.
And also, one more thing, do you know any more about the area code that we're supposed to have?
279, yeah. So,
Right.
So I heard two questions there. Don't know anything more about the 279. It actually comes out August 1st, but will not be implemented till February 1st. So even if you get a new phone number between now and February 1st, you're not going to be required to dial the 279. February 1st, you will be required to dial it.
As of the first day?
Yes, February 1st next.
First, okay.
So after February 1st, that gives them the opportunity to repeat phone numbers in both area
Yeah.
codes, but between August and not that, they won't.
People had been asking me about that,
Okay.
and I told them I know just as much as anybody else, and I said I would ask the council when they have their next meeting.
Yeah, so that there's no other information on that. And as far as City Ride and Route 95, I think you heard Mr. Miller say RT hasn't met in 2 months.
Right, as far as I know, that it's supposed, I called yesterday and asked if they were going to have a scheduled meeting for the 24th, because I know it's supposed to be on that date, and they said yes, that they are going to have a meeting. And as far as what Steve Miller had been mentioning, that it was scheduled only to have like only one-time meeting in the month of June, and I believe for this next month also.
Yeah, no, what we can't tell you is what's on the agenda at
Right.
this point, so, but you can always contact Steve offline, and he'll be, if there's an update, he'll be happy to give it to you.
Yeah, all right. I thank you.
Thank you, Arthur. Daniel, is it Valerio?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well,
How are you, sir? If you'd
good,
state
thank you.
your
Thank
name
you.
for the record.
Hope you're the same. Just give me a second. I'm not really used to talking, so.
No.
I'm used to talking, but like this. Hi, my name is Daniel Valerio, and I'm a resident of Sunrise Vista Mobile Home Park here in Citrus Heights. We're over at Sunrise and basically Santa Nora. Been a resident of the park there for 16 years, been here in Citrus Heights for 17 years. And I'm here with a group back here from our park, come before you to discuss what has turned into a health issue. We have a feral cat problem over there. My understanding is it's not just us. It's supposed to be throughout the city, and not to that degree, I don't know. But this is what we're getting out of management and the way that they're dealing with it. Again, the issue is it's become a health issue. It's not just a matter of too many cats. It's a health issue. We've been to management. I've been to the city last year. I contacted them. I called in. I spoke. I'm not sure. I went through city services. A name was mentioned, and I'm not sure if it was Mary Poole, who I may have spoken with or not.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember
She
the
runs
name.
our animal control service, so that would
And-
probably be
okay.
correct.
So they're aware of the problem. But again, been to city service, animal control. We filled out complaint forms, and this is with the park. We filled out complaint forms, emailed photos to the owner, management, and the city. And just recently, a number of us have sent through the city's website, submit a concern, the animal nuisance miscellaneous, and put it in, and received a reply back, basically just, got it.
Yeah, we got it, okay.
And have not heard anything back. We just, we're just feeling abandoned. Our hands are tied, we don't know what to do. There's a lot of things that we cannot do on our own. Nobody's advocating going in and killing cats to get rid of them. We don't want to go that route, but we know that we have a problem. These cats, this has been over 4 years, 3 different managements that we've dealt with over there, and we're still nowhere. The only thing we get told when we call in is, well, it's our hands are tied. We can't do anything. We all know who the culprit is. There's primarily one woman in the park that's doing the feeding, putting cat food out onto other people's properties. There's some other things that may or may not be, but, you know, we're right next to the new park.
Right.
The feed is drawing in skunks, it's drawing in raccoons, it's drawing in every critter that lives in there. We've had 3 litters this year alone that have been born over there. The problem is that if anybody's coming in and trapping, River City Cat Rescue was in at one point, only to find out that they were supplying the woman with food and basically trying to turn our park into a cat sanctuary.
Yeah.
Every now and then, you can't trap them when they're constantly being fed. They're just not going to get caught. They're living under people's units. The woman is befriending people, in my opinion and others, primarily for the reason of being able to go on and do things. Putting food out at nights, hiding them under bushes. I've personally removed quite a few bowls, as well as other people have, with permission from the owners to go onto their properties and help to close places up. You know, we're dealing with cats urinating, cat feces, cat poop, solid, loose diarrhea, vomiting. One girl has a picture of a litter that was aborted on top of her air conditioning unit. These cats are sick. These cats are sick also, but the problem is just going on. And we just need help. We can't get it anywhere. You know, we're turning in complaints. I mean, the flower beds, people's gardens. You can't even plant a garden anymore. And I certainly wouldn't want to be eating any tomatoes or vegetables that come out of a poop-laden garden. I don't think you would either. It's just not healthy. So we need some help over there in that way. Again, I've been to management as well as others, and I like, if you wouldn't mind standing up to the people that are with us here from the park, could you stand up, please? There's a number, we wanted others to come, but just weren't available tonight. We'll probably be at the next meeting.
Okay.
These are the people that come, and they had, you know, we're all in the same boat. We've got a lot of elderly people, again, with health issues as it is. You cannot open your windows at night over there in the summertime. I guess that's my cue. Getting there.
So, Daniel, I hear you, and a couple things. One, you say you've, you know, been working with the city for a while. This is the first time we've heard of it, so,
okay.
You know, I get that. Let me, offline, talk to our folks within Animal Services.
Okay.
There's only legally so much we can do. You know, I can't tell you to go out, and I mean, there's a way to solve the problem, but I can't tell you to do that, and I'm not telling you to do that. I hear you with feral cats. I mean, the thing that upsets me about that issue is, you know, our animal control will pick them up, we fix them, put them back out there.
I understand that that's the procedure.
Right, we can't make them disappear. But, you know, as a taxpayer, that's $274 a pop.
Well, again,
So don't get me wrong.
that,
I mean, there's things we can do,
yes,
and we have to work within the law to do that. So let me work offline with Animal Services. I have your contact. I'll copy this, take it home. I will get in touch with you.
I appreciate that.
And we'll further discuss what, within the realm of possibilities, can occur.
What we're asking is if somebody, I don't know who it would be, if it would be from animal control, if it would be from the city, a city member, a city council member, somebody for our district, to come over, meet with management, have a couple of us from the residents be there also in the meeting, discuss it with them. You know, again, there are rules within the park that are not being enforced, and that's, I guess that's our problem. You know, as far as the cats, we're in the dilemma of don't trap and let it continue, let them continue to breed. Or trap, fix a few, probably the lesser of the two evils, you know, what we're stuck with, and that's the best option, is to do that and bring them back. But the situation with the feeding and drawing in other critters has got to be something the city can do that way. I don't, you know.
Gina.
Again, we emailed to the website, Voice of Concern, and thought by now somebody would have gotten back. We haven't heard back. So we're just perplexed. We need help.
Yeah.
We really.
I have a question for you, sir. Thank you for coming tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry that you're having to deal with this. Do you have a board of directors within the park?
No, ma'am.
You do not. So basically, you are all residents, and your only recourse or person to go to is the company or the person's managing the park?
Right. This is not.
Is the park owned by someone, the same person all through this, and they just have different managers?
Yes, no, I understand. Now, we said about the board of directors. No, we're not a resident-owned park. We're a park that's publicly owned or owned by an
Owned by an entity?
individual, yes.
Okay, so has that individual owned the park all through this and just have
Through the
different?
16 years that I've been there, he's owned
Okay, but
it.
they've just had different managers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And the
Have-
last two, over 3 years, have not been living in residence. I'm saying they lived outside the park and come
Okay.
in and do their thing
They
during the
come in,
day.
that's their job, basically, they go to.
Right, right.
So have you had any contact with the park ownership?
We have had contact with the park owner. People have sent, well, one of the gentlemen here tonight has sent pictures to the owner. We've complained to the owner. We've submitted numerous complaints. People have submitted after one monthly payment after another when they go up to turn their payments in for their rents, have submitted complaint forms. There's a complaint form we fill out. And it's just a matter of going up and saying, well, what happened about these complaints that are being turned in? Well, they're just kind of getting filed. Well, what about the owner? Well, he calls in and says, I got another 5 complaints. Is it about the cats? Yeah.
Okay.
Just file them away. I know what it's about.
Well, we'll do what we can.
That's where we're at.
But you also obviously have a management problem in your park, too.
We do.
Yeah.
I think we do. But, I understand management's somewhat tied by, the owner's the owner, and you still got to abide by.
Well, that's what I mean, management, owner.
Chain of command, and, you have to follow it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
No, I think you
appreciate it.
have a legitimate complaint.
absolutely.
Don't know what the right answer is at this point, but I will take it offline, talk to Animal Service. I will personally get back to you, and we can discuss, next steps within the legal realms of what.
I appreciate it.
Is that fair?
Very good. Thank you very much.
All right, Colleen, don't have a last name. Oh, there you are, young lady. So. Same mobile home park, but different issue? Okay. You can pull that down, there you go. Good evening.
Hello, my name is Colleen. I live in the mobile home park, and I want to follow up on the previous person. We have an out-of-state owner, who does nothing. We have done a lot to try to get this out-of-state owner to help. And I'm asking the city of Citrus Heights to give us some help also, because we have druggies and the animals and all coming across the creek. When they had the celebration and the party there, I wanted to know, well, where's the cyclone fence? You've torn everything down. Now the druggies are coming in. And I think if you check the records, the police have been called to the park a number of times. So I'm asking, pleading, will you please get in and take some responsibility and do something about getting a cyclone fence all the way across from one end to the other so the druggies can't walk across. I have stood in the park, the nice recreational park that you can walk through, and I have watched them coming to the druggie house. And I check the records. You know who the druggie houses are in the park. We have people walking into the park to get their necessary things. And so I'm asking for help. That's it, period. Please, City of Citrus Heights, get in and do your job.
Okay, so Colleen, before you go,
Okay.
clarify a couple things. First of all, coming before us, appreciate it, to make the comments. So you have a privately owned mobile home park
Yes,
and a publicly owned park by an entity that you're not talking to, that's the Sunrise Park and Recreation District. Don't report to the city, aren't a part of the city there, report to the county. Regardless, because it's a open area and a private property, there is no requirement that there has to be a fence. I will, because I'm going to be following up on the cats, and it's the same property, I will look into number of police calls for service in that area. Because if, following through on this, I'll probably end up talking to the owner. The city cannot make either the park district or the private owner of the park that you live in put in a fence. It would make sense if I was the owner that it was causing issues for the residents of the park that might be considered. But the city can't make them. Okay, we can, show them statistics. But again, private property by two entities, which is not the city, there's no law that says you have to have a fence between an open, preserved area and the private. If there was building and parking within so many feet different, that might be required. But I just want you to be clear. I mean, we'll take it up. I'll look at the number of calls for service in there, and when we're further discussing the cats and possibly talking to the owner, I'll bring it up. But as a public body, I can't go to them and say, you have to put up a fence. It's not my role, and it's not, legally they don't have to. It might be a nice suggestion for me to make, but I'm just telling you, when we're talking money, and again, I don't know how long in the area you're talking about. I've been in the park. It's a pretty good size. I just don't want to give you misconceptions that we can say you have to put up a fence, but when you're talking about us doing our job, we don't own any of the properties, and there's no law that says you have to have that fence. So we can make a suggestion, but I just want to be clear that our hands are, we don't have the ability just to go in and snap our fingers and say, this is what's going to solve your problem.
Just one suggestion for you, Colleen, too. Because that property is owned by the Park District and not by the city, you might entertain the thought of going to their board and making your appeal to them as well. Because it's their park, and they own that park, not the city. So Sunrise Rec and Park is what borders your mobile home park, not city property.
correct.
So they would be the body that you would work with, or your park owners would work with in whatever arrangement they'd come up with to get a fence up, if that's the conclusion they all come to.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that when I talked to them, when we had the party down there at, when it opened up, they said that no one had said anything to them, and so they didn't have any grant money to do it. And so they kind of blew us off.
So that was when the park first opened, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Well, you may want to revisit with them. It's been a couple of years. Things have changed.
Okay.
Money's might be available today that wasn't available then.
Okay.
But that's just another suggestion to you, because they would be the entity that would work with you to make that happen.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, Colleen.
Okay.
And their next meeting is July 20 at 7 PM? So next week? At,
Week from today.
oh, this is the Sunrise Recreation Park District. They meet July 20th at 7 PM over at Rush Park. And so that would be the place. Let them know about the fence.
So, and Daniel, all I need is a yes or no on this, but I'm reading I'm copying this information down, I'm reading your phone number, I'm not going to yell it out here. Fifth number, is it a 4? Or it's a little sloppy, so I just want to make sure I get the.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nate?
Daniel, yeah. The fifth number, is it a 4 or a 7?
47.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So,
I have no problem with you now.
that's all right.
I can say it now if you want.
I'll try both if I can't get you.
Yeah.
That's right.
You get it where you won't.
All right, thank you. All right, I don't have any other public comment sheets. Anybody else not jumping up to fill them out? Go ahead and close public comment. Give me 2 seconds. I lost my agenda. Next item, Amy.
So the next item is consent calendar items 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
All right, anybody wish to pull 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9?
Pull number 8.
Number 8 to be pulled. So do we have a motion on 5, 6, 7, and 9?
I move approval of 5, 6, 7, and 9.
Second.
So we have a motion, 2 seconds. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 5-0. Item number 8. Amy, if you would read it, please.
Item number 8, the subject is a photo red light enforcement program, approval of 2 new camera enforced approaches. The recommendation is to adopt a resolution authorizing 2 new locations for red light camera enforcement.
Okay. So before we hear any staff report, Brett,
Actually,
the reason you're pulling it.
I don't need a report, I just want a separate vote.
Okay.
Just go a separate vote.
All right.
Sorry you walked up here, I was trying to get your attention.
So does anybody else up here need a report, or are we good just to do a separate vote?
Staff report was
Sufficient?
Yeah, sufficient here.
All right. So thank you, gentlemen, for coming up. Not that we don't want to hear from you.
Great job.
But you did such a great job walking up that we don't
Yes.
need to hear. So, Amy, would you call a,
Oh, there's no motion, is there?
We need a
oh,
motion.
yeah, well, minor detail.
I move approval of item number 8.
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second for item 8. Amy, can we have a roll call?
Councilmember Bruins,
Aye.
Councilmember Daniels,
No.
Councilmember Fox,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Miller,
Yes.
and Mayor Slowey.
Yes. Motion carries 4-1. Next item, public hearings.
Public hearing, item number 10. The subject is the resolution to record delinquent solid waste service charges on the tax roll. The recommendation is to adopt a resolution to record delinquent solid waste service charges on the tax roll.
Good evening, Stephanie Daniel, Finance Director. Tonight I'll be going over the delinquent solid waste service charges on the property tax roll, and unfortunately my PowerPoint does not appear, so I'm just going to speak.
It's the stealth.
So background and analysis, Municipal Code, Chapter 74, Section 172 states that the city can record delinquent solid waste charges, penalties, and interest on the annual tax roll. The billing process that we go through on January 1st, the bi-monthly bill is sent to the customers. On March 1st, another bill is sent and the past due amount is listed, and at that time a list of delinquent accounts is established. May 1st, another bi-monthly bill is sent with the past due amount listed, and at that time the delinquent list is updated, removing any customers who paid. May 15th, delinquent customers were sent a reminder letter separate from their bill about the past due amount. June 13th, they were sent a letter advising them of tonight's public hearing date and time. July 1st, another bi-monthly bill was sent to them with the delinquent amount listed, and also the list was updated, removing any customers who had paid. August 15th, the delinquent accounts will be placed on the property tax roll, and on September 10th, any changes can be made to the list that was placed August 15th. So as of July 10th, there are 828 accounts. Total delinquent is over $340,000. The 10% penalty that we assess is over $34,000 for a total levy of $376,000. And we'll receive payments from the county in January, May, and August of 2018, and then the Teeter cleanup payment in January of 2019.
So thank you, Stephanie. I mean, this is an annual thing we go through. Remind me, and you may have had it in your PowerPoint, or if you don't, just tell me you don't have it, but how does the 828 accounts and the 340,000 compare year over year? Is it?
Each year, it's around 300-something thousand. This year, it's maybe $20,000 lower than last year.
Okay.
But last year was maybe 850 accounts.
Okay.
It's always right around 800-something, and I mean, the dollar amounts are pretty
So we're not really
consistent.
seeing an increase, we're not really seeing much of a decrease?
Not much.
It's pretty steady,
Correct.
okay? questions for Stephanie? I know.
Nope.
Okay. This is a public hearing, so I will go ahead and open the public comment period. Anybody here wish to address the delinquent bills that are going to be liened against the property? Seeing nobody come up, I will close the public hearing. What's the pleasure of the council?
I move approval of moving forward with staff's recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 5-0. Next item, Amy, please.
Next item is regular calendar, item number 11. The subject is appointment to the Planning Commission, and there are two appointments that are being recommended to be made tonight. Councilmember Fox had previously served on the Planning Commission, and upon being appointed to the City Council, it left a vacancy on the Planning Commission. Vice Mayor Steve Miller now has the opportunity to nominate a regular member to fill the unexpired term on the Planning Commission. In addition, Councilmember Fox also has the opportunity to nominate a regular member to serve on the Planning Commission as well.
Great.
I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, so we have two appointments to make, one from Steve to be ratified by the council, one from Al in order of seniority on the council. Mr. Miller, you get to go first.
Well, would you like this in the form of a motion?
You can do either one. You can get up and dance, you can do...
You can sing. Sing.
No, you don't want either one of those, trust me.
We need a name, and then, you know, you can make it in the form of a motion or a name, and then we can...
I'd like to nominate Portia Middleton.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to appoint Portia Middleton to the Planning Commission to follow Mr. Miller's term. Have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 5-0. Mr. Fox, your first individual potential appointment here.
Thank you. I would like to take the opportunity to thank and ask to continue to serve Leah Cox, who is currently on the council or on the commission. She was the appointment of Councilman Mel Turner, and I would like to this time nominate her to complete that term.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
All right. So we have a motion and a second to reappoint Leah Cox to follow the appointment term of Mr. Fox. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, gentlemen, and welcome, Portia, and welcome back, Leah, although you never left. So, so Portia, I imagine somebody from our staff will be in touch with you to go through a orientation of some sort as we go forward. All right. Next item, Amy.
Next item, Department Reports, number 12. The subject is update on Police Department 2017 Independence Day responses.
Illegal fireworks. Or were they legal this year? I was confused.
Safe and sane, Mr. Mayor. That's what we authorize in Citrus Heights. Ron Lawrence, Police Chief here, and my Commander of Patrol Operations is going to be giving the presentation, but I wanted to just come up briefly and tee this up because I wanted to commend Commander Christensen and his patrol officers for all of their efforts on the 4th of July holiday season. The window that we have here by ordinance is from noon on June 28th through 10 p.m. on July 5th. So when we talk about this time, we're not talking about just July 4th, we're talking about that window, because that's when we're authorized to sell and ignite fireworks. The commander and I actually have had an opportunity since 4th of July to speak with other police chiefs in Sacramento County, as well as the sheriff, other police chiefs in our region. And this year in particular, every city in our region received a lot more complaints after the fact than they had previous. You'll see in the commander's report here that we actually had less calls for service this year than we did last year, but we certainly have seen the aftermath complaints on social media about loud explosions. And I have to tell you, it's not unlike any other community. I've worked in 6 jurisdictions now, and 4th of July is the same in just about every city in America. And the last community I worked in, literally, the community would shut down their own streets, have ladders in the streets. They would cover those street lights with blankets to darken the street. And I don't want to give anybody ideas here. But it's
Why are you saying this?
it's a common occurrence, and the enforcement of this becomes a real challenge because when we get complaints of fireworks in progress, more often than not, by the time we arrive, they've already been expended. And then if those are still in progress, there's typically 20 or 30 people standing around watching it, so we have to prove who actually did the ignition. Sometimes we're successful, sometimes we're not. When we find people in possession of illegal fireworks, we are very successful at confiscating those and keeping people safe. And again, I just want to turn it over to the commander here and commend him and his staff because they really did a great job, not only those 2 nights, but the preparation leading up to it. So, Commander?
Thank you, Chief, Mayor, council members. Commander Damon Christensen, Patrol Services Division. So this first slide here just really breaks down the Citrus Heights Municipal Code. The first code there, you see at 38-60, points out the time frame in which Safe and Sane fireworks can be purchased and utilized or used in the city limits, noon on June 28th through July 5th at 10 p.m. The second section you see, 38-80, is the authorization that we have in the municipal code for the chief or designees, which would include the fire district, to confiscate any illegal fireworks or fireworks being used in an unsafe manner. So those are the 2 codes that we rely upon in order to get the job done. So our response this year included a little bit more effort than we had in years past. On June 20th, we sent out a press release that talked about the safe usage of fireworks. And then on July 2nd, we followed it up with, in essence, verbatim, the amount of time, the start time and the end time as to when fireworks could be purchased and used within the city limits. What we did this year, with the help of our crime analyst, we went back and looked at areas that we had responded to and had problems with in 2016. And we came up with about 23 different locations, some of them very specific addresses and others just general locations such as cross streets. Our officers in the weekend preceding the 4th of July, excuse me, went to those locations, and whenever possible we made contact with those residents or just the neighbors in that area and advised them of really what the city ordinances were and what was acceptable and what was not acceptable under the city ordinance. We also took this same list and information, and the nights of July 3rd and July 4th, you'll see we had a partnership with the Sacramento Metro Fire Department in a grant that was administered by the fire department that coupled up a police officer and an arson investigator in a patrol car and patrolling the city limits or the city locations that we had identified, as well as anything else that was coming into our dispatch center as a concern. And so they would respond to those areas and try to really figure out what was happening. Sometimes you get to those locations and you're down the street, you might see something go off. It might be illegal, it might be legal, so you have to make that assessment. Sometimes in those nighttime hours, especially with all the smoke that's there, sometimes it's hard to even see who's lighting those fireworks off. But we certainly try our best to make contact, really to make sure that people are being safe, and so that people can have an enjoyable July 4th first. Secondly, if we need to take enforcement actions. So knowing that this is generally a busy season for us, a couple of days, we did bolster up the staffing for both days, July 3rd being the Monday and the 4th being the Tuesday. So we added 5 additional police officers on the 3rd and then plus one Sacramento Metro Fire Department arson investigator. You see the hours there. And then on the 4th, we had 6 officers as well as the arson investigator. And that was in addition to our normal patrol staffing that we have out in the field. So here's a representation of the calls for service that we've experienced over the last 4 years. You'll see in 2017, this year, we had 188 calls for service related specifically to fireworks. That was a decline from the 2016 numbers, but really 2017 was really not an anomaly. It wasn't really kind of out of the range of what is traditionally a very busy couple of days for us, just responding to calls for service. So nothing really out of the ordinary, a little higher than 14 and 15, but nothing totally unusual. So these are the details from that night, and I'll just let you look over those, but really taking a look at the very last bulleted item, so the 14 self-initiated activities. So this is when officers are really kind of making the contact based off of information that they're receiving or observations themselves, and making contact with residents or people who might be using fireworks or illegal fireworks, and if necessary, making a confiscation. We did confiscate about 70 pounds of fireworks, and we'll show you a picture here in the next slide. And really, all those confiscations really amounted to essentially us making contact. Perhaps the officers did not really know exactly who was in possession of the fireworks that were illegal or who had set them off. But in all the confiscations, I'm told that they were voluntary in nature. So the people who were in the area gave up the fireworks freely.
Question, Commander, what is a self-initiated, if you go back, 14 self-initiated activity, did people like?
So that's when an officer is taking specific action, and it's initiated by the officer.
No call.
And so there's no call. We're not receiving the call, but we
I'm thinking self
record it
in
as a call
terms
for
of the
service.
offender.
Right, they brought it down to the police department and said,
My bad.
Yeah, thanks for asking the question.
Thank you.
So here's a picture. This is one confiscation that took place. I don't know how many pounds this represents, but this is just one of the 14 calls where we ended up confiscating fireworks.
so where do all these confiscated fireworks go?
So these fireworks all went back with arson investigators, back to the station house.
Sac Metro? All right. Just didn't know if there was a party that we all didn't get invited to.
I won't call it, Chief.
Thank you.
He looks right at the fireman and says,
I'm sure they were properly disposed of.
But, in reality, we've had years where we have not had access to this grant. And in the years that we have had it, it's been a great partnership with the Metro Fire Department in this regard. It's a detail and a responsibility that the officers enjoy, and it's an opportunity to really get out and see the city and make some contacts. Not always a bad thing.
Okay.
So, any questions that I might answer?
Questions? Mr. Miller?
You mentioned the hours from June 28th, I think, to July 5th.
June 28th at noon until July 5th at 10
Is that the hours that our fireworks stands can operate?
That's right.
I
don't know that that's when they operate, but that's what's legal.
They can, yes, because I ran them for years at the chamber.
But not a day before?
No.
What?
But not the June 27th?
No, not June 27th.
Right, so my point is, that's the time you can light them off as well as while the
Right.
stands are open, is what I'm
Correct.
assuming.
That's right.
In
Is there a
area-
need for a change to that? Or?
Well, I don't think that solves the problem of
Right.
the
Right.
4th of July. So, you could change the dates, but it's still going to be a mess on July 3rd and 4th, because you're not going to
Yeah.
pull that out of the,
So it's more, I don't know.
I mean, there's two issues. One, the close proximity to Nevada, where everything that blows up is legal, and, you know, an hour and a half drive, you can bring it back. And it did seem like there were more this year, and I don't know if it was just because they were louder, but I also noticed from where I live, they were on the other side of 80, which is the county, so, you know, can't blame Citrus Heights residents, but at the end of the day, there were some pretty cool fireworks up there. I mean, I know they were illegal, and there was nothing I could do about them, but to call them in when you can't, you know, you have to see where they're going off from. Seeing them up in the sky doesn't really mean anything. It could be, you know, a block away or 7 blocks away. So unless you actually see them happening, calling it in if you can't narrow it down doesn't help the police department. So.
But nonetheless, we always encourage people to call us when they have concerns and give us an opportunity to at least understand or know where that's happening. And that goes with really anything in our.
Well, my biggest objection is because of all these illegal fireworks and explosions, we can't go out. We can't enjoy a 4th of July family function or go to, say, Cal Expo and see a display because we have a dog. And we stay home and keep her calm as best we can. But boy, some of these were, it just sounded like a war zone at times.
Well, and my comment is kind of multifaceted. When we had the display at Sunrise Mall, you know, we went every year, and then when that display ended, I was home for the first time on the 4th of July and was terrified at what was going on in my own neighborhood with the bottle rockets and everything, with just waiting for some tree to catch on fire or some rooftop to catch on fire. And then also, when I moved up here 30 some odd years ago, I moved from LA County where all fireworks had been banned for as long as I can remember. I was kind of aghast that they were legal in Sacramento County, and because we had the 4th of July with, other than the pyrographic displays, which is under a completely different licensing and so forth, we had a good time. And I just wonder if the day isn't sometime ahead of us where we have to look at not having fireworks other than the professional displays, because it establishes a culture, you know, that even safe and sane is one thing, I mean, but people get hurt from those too. You know, they mishandle those too. Kids get burned and so forth. And I know the nonprofits would hate to hear me say this because it's a fundraiser for them. But I think it's a problem. And it seems, even though our call numbers are down this year, I think the impact on the public is growing every year. So.
Patience is one thing.
Okay.
And is it not the busiest night of the year for fire and PD? Is that safe to say or not?
It's one of the
for fire, no doubt it is, but
it's certainly one of the busier.
For you as well,
nights.
yeah.
I mean,
thank you for your report.
All right, on that can of worms. Any other comments? All right. Next item, Amy.
Next item is city manager items, and there are no items. Next item is items requested by council members or any future agenda items.
Two quick comments. One, well, both of them I should have made earlier, but I'm getting old and I forgot. On the 30th, I did go out on a ride-along, and I did want to thank, you know, first of all, the chief for arranging it, Commander Christensen for following through, but in particular, Officer Jason Cohagen. You know, it was the 30th, so it was in this time frame, and you could certainly hear some of the fireworks, but unless you were looking in the right direction, you didn't see them, and even if you heard them, that doesn't help. But again, I'm always amazed, and I go out quarterly, how busy this community is from calls for service. And without getting into details, I do have to give Jason, the officer, a call out, because we went to a specific case where this gentleman, and I use that term loosely, had been arrested 3 days earlier for fighting with officers. So before we engaged, and I say we, I was sitting in the car, before he engaged him in a conversation, he did call for backup. Backup showed, but the way he handled the situation calmed it down. This gentleman was very agitated just at life, and I will give him credit because afterwards he was arrested and we did escort him downtown, but for 20 minutes this guy just kind of went off in the car on the way to jail. But again, it could have been a completely different situation if the officer didn't handle it the way he did. So I wanted to compliment him on that. And then lastly, when we were talking about Sac Metro and Maurice Johnson here, I did also want to, mention to the public and thank you. There's a lot of wildfires going on in Northern California, and you had mentioned in a different meeting that currently Sac Metro has over 40 local firefighters on the lines in these various fires and various equipment away from their families doing their jobs to help others in California. So thank you for that. Make sure that, all the men and women of the Sac Metro Fire knows that as a city, we appreciate not only what they do here, but when they go up, to Orville or wherever they are helping. So thank you for that. Anything for future agenda items from the rest of the council? All right. With that, then, we'll go ahead and close the meeting.